Alright guys, Lqgend. I hope you're doing well and enjoying your day so far. Shotzzy reveals the plans of the CDL teams when it comes to practicing over this Christmas New Year period, and as far as he is concerned, nobody is going to practically do anything over the next couple of weeks, despite the fact that some of these CDL teams are terrible right now and in need of major improvements. Shotzzy reckons that yeah, OpTic might be ahead of the curve, but others are not really trying to catch up over this winter break. Very much enjoy to your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new as always, I greatly appreciate it. Plenty to get into today. This is one example here from aBeZy. So over the last few days we talked about quite a lot of the drama with regard to Lurqxx and FaZe and Thieves and what may or may not be going on over there. Now, Drazah, as a result of that, the OpTic guys even said it on their little podcast the other day, they expect him to be putting in a little bit of a shift. If Lurqxx indeed is going to FaZe, would expect if Lurqxx comes into that team at some point, he might be running the flex. That's certainly where he, flex slayer effectively seems to be Lurqxx's role. Whether that happens or not, questions will be raised on who would get replaced. It's probably not going to be Abuzah, it's certainly not going to be Simp. That leaves two options. Now, Drazah also can flex. We've seen him do it before. I mean, okay, he flexes right now, but what I mean is he could go to a sub. It's not impossible, but I don't think Drazah is best placed on that role. 04, like, who knows? The point is that the OpTic guys were saying Drazah and 04 are going to be grinding a fair bit over this Christmas New Year. And, as well they should. If indeed they are getting a competitive substitute, it should be good for all involved if they are encouraged to play better and grind a little bit harder. Now, aBeZy had that really good series against FaZe, but that didn't necessarily last in the other series. aBeZy's been okay, but as we know, Thieves got absolutely slammed by Paris the other day. So aBeZy says 2v2 child 25 plus, let me know with my son Joe. So I'm playing with JoeDeceives. Again, Joe is pretty interesting here because if you guys might remember, during the off-season there was actually quite a lot of talk about aBeZy going to Toronto with JoeDeceives. That didn't happen in the ends, but I wouldn't say that's an impossibility in the future because Joe's under that contract with Toronto, but that contract will not last forever. We don't think he's getting paid a huge amount of money based on what he talked about the other day on the timeline. So there's definitely a world where aBeZy and JoeDeceives duo up. But I also think it's just aBeZy or interesting that aBeZy is playing some Charles here because he may think, okay, I need to put a little bit of time in over this New Year period. That was the case for aBeZy and FaZe, if you guys remember, this time last year. And the results speak for themselves. But apparently other pros are not so interested. Now, Zuma also clowned the Challengers players for this. If you guys have been watching such of the Challengers over the last few days, you'll find that despite all the excitement around Tier 2, all the support around Tier 2 from many of the teams and personalities, we still have these issues where in order to broadcast some of these games and to put a codcaster in, the players want the mini-map on the codcaster to get blocked. Now, so it's blocked by player requests. And there's lots of new people coming in and watching this and discovering it, certainly through the Barstool guys at Bush Gaming and all of that. And they're like, hang on a sec, what's going on here, right? Why can't I see the minimap, right? Like, it's all a little bit confusing. So Zuma clowns them for this. And I think Zuma makes an absolutely fair point. The concern about Zuma's point here is that while he says, look, I can literally see where everyone is because I can see the x-ray, so I know where the teammates are. So the minimap is just irrelevant in terms of hiding strategies. Unfortunately, the implication of this is that the players, and they have done this before as well, will then tell the codcaster, all right, I want you to be turning X-ray off so nobody can see anything. And it's like, oh my God, like, here we go again, right? So, I mean, you can see even on his team, the blue team, you can see where the guys are because you can see the teammates through the wall. And then the other team, you can easily see where all of those boys are. So, yeah, it is a bit of a mess. Zuma is right that it is... I think it's like so brain dead to block the minimap if you're still going to have the x-ray. Like if the x-ray's there, the minimap should just be available. It's so much better for everyone regardless. But of course, the players would then say, well, all right, we'll get rid of the x-ray as well, in addition to getting rid of the minimap, so we can hide our strats or whatever from other teams. It's like, come on, man. Like, the way that Shotzzy thinks about this, I think is the best, and obviously we're going to get Shotzy's take in a second on what some of the other pros and really the plan of the CDL teams is over this winter break. But Shotzzy says, look, we're just better than everyone. Even if you know what you're doing, you can't stop us. That's Shotzzy's logic. And look, OpTic are the best team in the game right now. They've been streaming more practice than anyone over the last few weeks. So, look, it is what it is. I'll share that clip for you guys in a second, in addition to a few clips from Formal, and also this moment from this game chat episode the other day. So, this time last year, if you guys remember, FaZe were having a really tough start to the season. Wasn't looking good. Their opening games, they got like 3-0'd by Ravens or something, didn't they, this time last year? It was looking real bad. They played Falcons. They lost like a vault control to Falcons when Falcons couldn't win a map, and it was like, dearie me. I don't know why I said that. But FaZe are struggling hard. Now, if you guys remember, over Christmas, New Year, FaZe locked in big time this time last year. They were doing like 3 scrims a day. They were playing a couple of pro teams. Then they would get in and play a challengers team in their 3rd scrim set. They, after everything finished for December, they put in a serious shift over Christmas, New Year, early January to get ready for the start of the new year. They turned up in January, were significantly better, and then famously, about 3 weeks later, went on to win the first major of the season in Madrid, which they looked absolutely nothing like doing just a few weeks prior.
Okay, so... By the way, blocking minimap is so fucking brain dead. I was telling this to Sweetie yesterday. I don't know why the fuck these players don't want to... Brother, there's 1 left, 2 mid lobby, and 1 holding right with bomb. I know their exact setup. You can see it.
Does Merc shoot better than you in your prime? No. I mean, obviously, I was answering that shit no hezzy just for straight aura, but I was shooting really straight, and it was before dynamic, and that's really the thing I pride myself on.
There have been teams who have actually...
I was shooting before, like, there was LMG attachments, you know? Like, we have 12 attachments on the gun to help you a little bit, hold your hand with the recoil, got dynamic aim assist to help you stay on them, you know?
They give it like 1
Rotational aim assist helps you stay on them. You're shooting people in jetpacks. Like, that's the difference. That's what the pros will tip. Whether or not...
the progress.
No, you guys can see what I'm saying? Up to you. VOD's there. Wait, but look, they're playing... Look, this is it. This is it.
What could possibly cement the dynasty here? Oh, D!
Oh my god, he has overdrive.
He pops OD!
He's like, here, take it. I don't want to do it. He's like, oh my god, I have to do it.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
God, can I get an instant replay? Cap missed 2 free throws, one of them being like short and the other one being way too long. Oh, look at it. It's over the backboard.
Oh
his character's like in disbelief. He's getting shot just like disbelief that he missed.
Oh.
What could possibly
Oh. Cap, you there though? You still in here? Oh, they're gonna show the replay? Oh my god, and they slow-moed it.
Oh my god.
His character even grabbed his own throat like he knew he choked. You peep that?
No,
What the fuck? Yeah. I'm just standing here. I'm standing out in the open. I'm just standing there.
God, you can't alpha people anymore, bro. You used to be able to alpha motherfuckers. You can't.
I'm squaring with the roster. I whip out someone else's K-bar.
Just square, bro. Like, you can't do that anymore.
No, you can't. You can't.
Holy
Everybody shoots like this now.
Matt was really standing in the middle of the
I was just standing there like, just shout me,
No
man.
bullshit. I thought you were FTL right here, Matt.
I know, no, I remember dying and thinking, oh, I could have done it. Fuck. But it was only because I had full streaks already.
FTL shot punched him.
It's the most deep shit ever. Just FTL ninja'd him.
Took him hostage.
How good was Merc? Did you ever play against him?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Wow, you think I'm old? He was a little. Like, I want to say.
When did he retire?
Like 2014, or maybe 24. I think he played
really?
Ghost 2014. Yeah. I don't know if he played AW. I don't know. But I know. I don't think he did. But
What game is this?
this is probably 1948, bro.
This is Ghost, right?
Rumble. Look at Hector, bro.
Yeah. He looks hella different. What the fuck?
Wow, that's an old ass pick, man.
They're so old, dude. Jesus. Yeah, so scrims, we don't play until everyone took, wait, what's today? It's actually kind of crazy, bro. It's the 18th, and then we're not going to play until the 3rd. So we basically have like 2 weeks of just not playing. I mean, everyone just took that. I mean, I guess it makes sense. It's like the only break until like, this is like our only break for the whole year now. Like once the season starts, like we're just gaming. So I mean, obviously it's, weird, but.
So 2.5, 3 weeks off for these pro teams over this Christmas New Year period. That is their plan, at least in terms of scrims. They're not going to practice again until the 3rd of January. As the OpTic guys were saying, it's the 18th of December, which is, look, yes, the players are going to go home for the holidays. It's totally understandable, right? People want to take a break over Christmas, New Year, all good. For example, in Formula 1, it's actually mandated in the summer and the winter that the teams, I know that of course it's a very different sport in the sense that at F1 some of the teams have thousands of staff, but there's actually a rule that says you cannot work during these 2 periods of the year, because otherwise the teams will just get worked to the bone, because in sports every single extra rep, every single extra hour of work could be a substantial competitive advantage when aggregated over time. So there was actually an official rule in F1 that, all right, the team cannot work during this period, so the guys actually get a break. Now, of course, that is not a rule that exists here. If you want to grind over Christmas, New Year, that is exactly what you can do. But it seems the teams have come together and said, all right, lads, we've had the final weekend of practice, no more scrims until the 3rd of January. Now, look, understandable. The players want to take some time off. They are going to be grinding a lot over the next few months. And if you're a top team, sure, right? Have the break, you're feeling pretty good, spend some time with family. I'm not opposed to the players doing that. What I'm saying is that there is an advantage to be gained. We saw it last year. FaZe put in more work than anyone else did this time last year. They reaped the benefits at the start of the new season. Now look, if none of the pro teams are scrimming, who are your scrim partners, right? Are you just going to grind against challenger teams that might not be that good? But actually, some of them are pretty decent, right? And they're still going to be potentially playing the game. Someone's going to be on the game. So, especially if you're one of the weaker teams in the Pro League, you would think the extra time might come in pretty handy. Now, yes, the season is packed from here on out, right? At the start of the new year, they will be playing a lot of Call of Duty from then to the end of the season. But we know that some of these teams are behind the curve. Look, I'm not saying if you're OpTic or if you're, you know, Gentlemates or something, I think they're pretty happy with how things are. Do they want to go and scrim against some challenger teams or some weaker CDL teams that maybe are still scrimming? There's no real benefit to be had there. So I think in their sense, it makes sense. But certainly some of these players, it does add fuel to the fire of like, just here for a paycheck, just here to keep their spot in the Pro League, turn up to the event and try and do what they can. No, because if you're on a Ravens or a Surge or one of these other teams, even G2, they looked alright early, but, you know, I think they've still got some work to do. You know, the bottom half of the league in general still has a lot of work to do if they want to make it in. There'll still be some challengers teams out there trying to put some work in. So, look, the opportunity is there, right? If no one else is grinding, this is the opportunity to try and make hay while the sun shines, as it were, and while everyone else is standing still. And look, changes might be coming to the game in the new year, but it's still got to be worth putting in some extra time, you would imagine. So, look, these are the events in the upcoming year. Of course, when we get back in January, this is how things look. So it's the 9th of January, right? So they're stopping scrimming until the 3rd of January. Then they have like a week of scrims before the first qualifiers start up again. You know, obviously they have 3 weekends in a row of qualifiers, then into the major at the end of January. Then there's basically a week of matches off, then back into the matches in early February. And these then run pretty much all the way through. I don't think there's a single week off in February, March, because there's tons of games because they're playing single round robin with the entire league before we get to Birmingham at the end of March. So that's the Birmingham event. Then there's a couple of weeks off after that before April. But again, and even if you say, wow, they're playing every weekend, it's like, well, yeah, but what, 1 match, 2 matches a weekend? It's not exactly a lot of COD, is it? Compared to what they were playing back in the day. So very much interested to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Have a wonderful Christmas tomorrow. I will make a video actually later today to upload tomorrow, but like as usual, I won't make a video actually on Christmas. So if anything crazy happens, I'll see you on the 26th. So yeah, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time.